wants to know, is Chase Claypool going to be working with you instead of Wes?
Work with me instead of Wes. It's really unique what Mike's been able to get done in the last couple of years. As you notice, as he continues to build this, we're going to have a lot of players that really are positionless. When you think at whether Chase is with me or doing stuff, whether Alec, I do stuff with him. Some of my guys will do stuff with Eric, Studesville. Wes will work with my guys on certain things. So it's a really unique thing that we have going here. A lot of selfless players, and coaches don't care who's coaching who. We're just trying to get our guys to go out and execute plays. And I think that's what makes our offense so dangerous is that Tyreek Hill could be pin blocking, then he's 50 yards down the field on a route. Same with our running backs. Sometimes they're blocking, sometimes they're running it. It's just all over the place with it. So that gives us a lot of flexibility within our offense. So I'm sure at some point, Clay, Chase, and I will be doing something together. I haven't even met him yet. I mean, I've seen him on the field, but haven't really introduced myself to him yet. But so I'm just excited because that's just another chess piece for McDaniel to use and give us an advantage.
Staff often talks about the interchangeability of guys on the field. I was curious, in the NFL, has it always been that way, or was there maybe a tipping point where offenses kind of evolved to say, hey, we can move?
No, it hasn't always been like that, but I think what it is when you find guys that love football, and just don't care and just want to be in the field and do whatever it is they can to be able to be a part of something special. That's what we've been able to do in these last couple drafts and free agency is bringing guys in. They just love football. They don't care if they get 50 targets or one, or if I get to carry the ball 15 times and this guy. You never see anybody well, how come I'm not? When you see Devon when he scored, one of the first guys to grab him is Raheem Mostert, right? I mean, yet they're supposed to be competing against each other. It really has, again, talking about Coach McDaniel, really has done a good job of getting people in here that are about just one thing. Let's just go win and let's have fun while we do it. I think as you see college football continue to evolve, and you're starting to see that with Coach Prime's doing it in Colorado with Travis Hunter playing both ways. There's a lot of kids that, I shouldn't say a lot, there's a good amount of kids that would probably love to play the whole game, right? And so when you get your hands on someone like that, you want to let them, use their skill set as much as they can. And for us, it's not a both sides of the ball thing, but it's playing multiple positions on the offense and having fun doing it.
I can follow up there. I think it's interesting what you mentioned, just how different guys can pop into different coaches' room for a given game. I've seen Tyreek line up tight sometimes. What is it like for you maybe when you have a guy pop in your room knowing he's going to be in your game plan for two or three plays and teaching him maybe a quick tutorial of how to play tight end?
It's fun because, as you guys probably know, I go out early. We go out and practice early as tight ends. So we're usually on the field about 25 minutes before practice, just doing drills and individual work, hitting the sled, doing that. So whether it was Eric or Braxton or whoever, if we're going to do something with the third wide receiver in the run game, say triple blocking with the tackle on someone, we'll work that technique. If it's a pass protecting thing with the running back, I may work with them. When it's, hey, how to run this looky route, for instance, and it's I can say whatever, but Wes Welker's run 1,000 of them. Wes, take it. And again, like I said, it's a unique thing because on some staffs I've been on or you can be a part of, guys get real territorial. That's my player. And we really don't care as coaches or players who's coaching. And that's a testament to the players too, and that they're open-minded and understanding that I may not be your primary coach, but for this particular play or for these sets of plays, here's how I want you to do it, and you're going to come out and we're going to work on it or stay or however it is. So again, it just goes back to the players and the coaches on the offensive staff just being really selfless. It's just who are the best 11 for this particular play, and how can we make it work, and hopefully we get a touchdown out of it.
John, if I'm not mistaken, tight ends did not have a target last game. Is that correct? I think that's correct.
If you say it is, then that is, yeah.
How much of that was kind of by design, and how much of that was kind of a small surprise as the game developed?
Well, it's a surprise because I'm hearing it now. During the game, it wasn't a big issue. It's not something I've really ever paid attention to. Even when I've had Kittle, Gonzalez, and those guys, it's just whatever it is, it is. It's just how the flow of the game is and how it works out. I'm pleased with how the guys have been playing. I know Durham has made some big catches for us and getting first downs, and that's really all I care about is when we get the ball, do we move the chains? Because that's priority number one, I think, is at the tight end position, is keep us on the field. And then what you can do in the red zone. And, Durham, I think Julian had an op a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what happened last week in the red zone. I should. But, besides the mistake we had. But however it works out, it works out. And, but again, if you're going to complain about it, you're not going to probably be in that room that long, because we got to do whatever it is to help us win.
You mentioned red zone. How much, I don't know how to ask this, how much of a factor are the tight ends supposed to be in the red zone?
Well, it just depends on the coverages you're getting down there and the matchups you can have. So some weeks I get excited. I work on the red zone as one of my primary responsibilities. So I'm always trying to find a way to get us the ball down there. And but it just depends on the matchups and the coverages of what the team we're going against does. That is the last place you want to force the issue on something, to try to get the ball to someone. You just got to have a good play design that hopefully there's multiple options for the quarterback to get the ball out and get it out quick down there. So, but it's not something you go down there and say, oh my gosh, I got to give him the ball. You look at what happened in San Francisco last week. Kittle gets 3 touchdowns in one game. Hadn't had a touchdown before that. So it can come in bunches, and then you can have dry spells as well.
On the topic of the red zone, you guys have ran the ball really well in that part of the field. It seems obvious to me, but I just want to hear your perspective. What benefit is there of running the ball so well in that short, condensed area of the field?
Well, because I think if you're running the ball well down there, then you can dictate a little bit of the coverages that you may see. So you may get more man coverage and less zone. Or if you're going to get zone, it's probably going to be maybe quarters so the safeties can support quicker. So it gives you an opportunity to maybe dictate the terms a little bit more down there.
You mentioned something about red zone being your responsibility. I think Mike can allude to this as well. Is it correct he divvies up kind of different aspects of the offense, like third down? Or
Yeah, he did third down, base. Yeah, he does.
Monday, you guys are working on the game plan. Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, you kind of come meet as a staff and you're really incorporating that.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Last night was third down, so Bevel and Wes and Frank are all in there with Mike. Tonight's red zone night, so it'll be myself and Frank in there with Mike going through the red zone, different things that you saw, why you like this play, and you hope you get some of your plays in, and that, bang the table on it. And he's really good about putting them in, but then he's going to dress it up, He's going to have a lot of formations, a lot of different shifts, motions, and all that. So that's where he comes in and does all that to try to help dictate the terms further. But it's been a lot of fun being able to do that, Mike has done a great job of trusting his staff and allowing us to do the areas of the game plan that we've had a lot of success in or have done a lot in. I've done red zone everywhere I've been my whole career. So he's allowed me to continue doing it here with him. And so it's a lot of fun, being able to sit down there and do it and kind of talk through what you see and why you want to do things and who you think you want to get the ball to. And then he'll rubber stamp it or change it around and do all that. But at the end of the day, it's just us having success,
John, how is Julian Hill done as a blocker?
Julian's done very well. Julian, I'm pleased at the strides he's made, and he'll be a good player for us. He will. Yeah, go ahead. I know you.
Sorry,
I actually want to ask you, I've always wanted to know this question. You had a very accomplished career in San Francisco throughout the league. Why leave Kittle to come here to work with Mike?
Well, some unique opportunities with that, you know, and it in this business, if you stay somewhere longer than 3 years, that's a rarity, you know, and so this opportunity came up with Mike, and you know, Mike is someone I've always kind of been someone I kind of gravitated to when he was younger. He was always someone that was always asking questions and was very inquisitive, was really smart. First met him back, I think it was 2004 at UCLA, and then worked with him briefly at Washington, and then reconnecting with him back in San Francisco. And, you know, I'm really kind of at the stage of my career or life or whatever where I really do want to try to help mentor younger coaches and help younger coaches have success as I'm on the way out the door here. And Mike's someone that I've always had a good relationship with and really liked, and it was a good opportunity and a new challenge. And so it's one I'm taking on eagerly.
Can I do a quick follow-up if possible? When you talk about San Fran,
Yes.
a lot of you guys were there together. How has your relationship grown? If you can maybe explain, like you, Wes, Mike, now that you're on your own staff.
Well, it's been the natural growth, I think, of any relationship. You know, Wes and I became fast friends out in San Francisco through our love of golf. We have some pretty competitive golf games or matches. So that's where that began. And then, like I said, with Mike and I, just talking ball, you know, having cigars together, hanging out and just talking and having a good friendship. And then, you know, coming here, obviously when you first get here and you don't have family or anything, you're just in a hotel for 3 months or whatever it was. And so there's nothing else to do but hang out with each other. So it's just, I think that bond has grown between all of us. And then, you know, the new relationships, you know, Darryl Bevel and Butch and I worked together in Tampa Bay. And so that's one of the things I think that's real unique is when you're part of a new staff, you have a feel early on if it's going to be good just by how the relationships are with those coaches, and does everyone think similar? You don't want everyone thinking the same, but similar in certain things because you want those fresh ideas coming in, and you could just see how the synergy was going to be, that this was going to be a real good staff and a lot of fun, and that's what it's been.